All praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rekahakwadash. Next, I want to give double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the Lord's elect. To elect there on end time headlines, it says, this pattern will hold unto the end. This is this guy's opinion. What happens when judgment comes upon a nation, a city, or an entire generation? Does God still know how to protect, preserve, and deliver those who belong to him? So he's under the I don't want to say if it's, he thinks that because it says that great city, that Babylon the Great is not talking about America, but the citizens make up a city. And so I asked Google, in ancient times, do the citizens make up a city? In ancient times, citizens did not just live in the city, they were the city. Ancient cities were defined by their people, laws, and community bonds. You see, rather than just walls or buildings, you see? So Babylon the Great, America, that great city, you see? Y'all not getting around it, man. That's why you said a nation, a city. Y'all ain't ready, man. Yahawashi getting ready to destroy this place, man. And y'all not stopping it. You see, the words of Yahawashi is going to stand sure. You see, Pentagon drafting a new U.S. nuclear strategy in case of regional war with China or Russia. That's going to happen. You see, that's prophecy. That Russia and America and all the Russians' allies are going to come up against this great whore and destroy it with nuclear fire. See, that great city Babylon for in 1 hour. And it's going to be, you see, Yahawashi is going to take all the credit for it because this is his counsel. He is going to destroy Babylon the Great. The Lord said, I will raise and cause, let's get it. Jeremiah 15 verse 9. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon, America, an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows, their ICBM nuclear missiles shall be as of a mighty expert man, none shall return in vain, you see? And that assembly of great nations is Russia and all his allies. And even America's allies are going to turn against this whore and shoot their missiles as well. Thus saith Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Very expensive. Americans could soon pay a whole lot more for strawberries. A historic shortage is squeezing beef prices, and relief could be years away. Right, Revelation 6 and verse 6. That's going to kick in as well. And it reads, and I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. The oil and the wine represents this wisdom, knowledge, understanding, the truth, you see, of Bahasham Yahawashi. This is going into hyperinflation, NLT. And I heard a voice from among the 4 living beings say, a loaf of wheat bread or 3 loaves of barley will cost a day's pay, and don't waste the olive oil and the wine. Right, the truth. Iran warns of cyber attacks and global internet cuts if U.S. strikes resume. You see, that's that Isaiah 48 and verse 22. There is no peace, saith Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, to the wicked. Right, there's not going to be any peace, man. This is the counsel of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. The Lord is doing this. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms. You see, World War III, man, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger. For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. Right, and why is the Lord jealous? Let's get it. Deuteronomy 32 and verse 43, for what y'all done to his people. Rejoice, O ye nations, with his people, for he will avenge the blood of his servants, and will render vengeance to his adversaries, and will be merciful unto his land and to his people, because y'all have stolen the Lord's land, you heathen. You see? Matter of fact, let's get that. Y'all stole it. That's why he's going to get hit with a nuke as well. But unlike Babylon the Great, the Holy Land will be rebuilt, and the true children of Israel will go home. Ezekiel 36 and verse 5, therefore thus saith Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds, to cast it out for a prey. You see? NLT, this is what the sovereign Lord Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi says, my jealous anger burns against these nations, especially Edom, the so-called white man, because they have shown utter contempt for me by gleefully taking my land for themselves as plunder. See, this is why you devils are going to war. You see, y'all shouldn't have did it. At the time of those events, says Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, when I restore the prosperity of Judah and Jerusalem. And I ain't gonna say y'all shouldn't have did it. Y'all was gonna do it because it's written. That's what was written for you to do. You see, I will gather the armies of the world into the valley of Yahawashi, over there in the so-called Middle East. There I will judge them for harming my people, my special possession, for scattering my people among the nations, and for dividing up my land. World War III. You see, that's what it's about. The controversy of Zion. They threw dice to decide which of my people would be their slaves. They traded boys to obtain prostitutes, and sold girls for enough wine to get drunk. Right. So verse 9, the Lord says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. You see? And Babylon the Great, America will be destroyed. You see? At the climax of this war. But we know the mark of the beast has to be made mandatory first, the RFID microchip. See, but America's getting ready to be destroyed, whether you believe it or not. We don't give a damn. You can stay here and be melted with this place. Matter of fact, Yahawashi said that. You Israelites, that's the only ones. You see, the Lord's only looking for his elect. Only the elect of the nation of Israel will make it out of here. Ezekiel 22 and verse 14. Can thine heart endure, or can thine hands be strong in the days that I shall deal with thee? You see, I, Yahawah, have spoken it and will do it. Verse 18, Son of man, the house of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, is to me become dross. All they are brass and tin and iron and lead in the midst of the furnace. They are even the dross of silver. Therefore, thus saith Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi power, because ye are all become dross, behold. Therefore, I will gather you into the midst of Jerusalem, a people before his place, as they gather silver and brass and iron and lead and tin into the midst of the furnace, to blow the fire upon it, to melt it. So will I gather you in mine anger and in my fury, and I will leave you there and melt you. Yea, I will gather you and blow upon you in the fire of my wrath, and ye shall be melted in the midst thereof. As silver is melted in the midst of the furnace, so shall ye be melted in the midst thereof, and ye shall know that I, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, hath poured my fury out upon you. You see? Iran's supreme leader planning major escalation in war with the U.S., right? And the Lord did this, man. This is Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Isaiah 13 and verse 2, it says, lift ye up a banner, these scriptures upon the high mountain, America. Exalt the voice unto them. Shake the hand that they may go into the gates of the nobles. Right, you wicked elite banquet families. I have commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones. The sanctified ones is the prophets. The mighty ones is the angels. For mine anger, even them that rejoice in my highness. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people. A tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi of hosts, mustereth the hosts of the battle. They come from a far country. From the end of heaven, even Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. Those nuclear missiles, you see? Just talking about nuclear destruction, man. How ye, for the day of Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi is at hand, and it shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt, and they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames. Behold, the day of Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi, cometh cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate. You see? And he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it, man. You see? Nearly 13,000 have been displaced following deadly 7.7 Indonesia quake, right? Isaiah 29 and verse 6. Thou shalt be visited of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire. Wait until the Lord starts pounding on America for real, for real. Wait until Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi start pounding on this place. Y'all gonna know it. Y'all are gonna know it, man. Y'all just wait. Y'all just freaking wait, man. Until you see what Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi got planned for this place, man. Let's get it. Isaiah 47, verse 6. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. And thou saidst, I shall be a lady forever. So that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. And we're at you devil's latter end, man. We're at the time of the Gentiles to be being fulfilled, man. We served our captivity. We almost at the end of it. You see? 6 in the NLT, for I was angry with my chosen people and punished them by letting them fall into your hands. But you, Babylon, showed them no mercy. You oppressed even the elderly. You see? You, Babylon. Jeremiah, America 51 and verse 35. The violence, man, done to me and to my flesh be upon Babylon, shall the inhabitant of Zion say, and my blood upon the inhabitants of Chaldea shall Jerusalem say. Therefore thus saith Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, behold, I will plead thy cause and take vengeance for thee, and I will dry up her sea and make her springs dry. And Babylon, America, shall become a heaps and a dwelling place for dragons and astonishment and hissing without an inhabitant. You see? Lord getting ready to destroy this place, man, with nuclear destruction. All of it is going to be wholly desolate, every drop of it. See? Repent, you Israelites, turn back to Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, or you will be left here to melt. See? U.S. tell to tell partners they must pick sides in AI race, right? This wicked demonic NWO, which consists of putting an RFID microchip in everybody, which is the mark of the beast. And if you take that chip, you're going to be destroyed. See? We're at the time of prophecy, man. Malachi 4. It's your judgment for taking that chip. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi of hosts, that it shall leave them neither a root nor a branch. You see? It's going to burn you up. Let's get that. Just for taking that chip. Revelation 14 and verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, which is poured out without mixture, into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone. You see, the day coming that's going to burn as an oven, man. Fire and brimstone via ICBM nuclear missiles, in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. You see? The Lord going to leave you here and melt you, man. Trump just called Satan not a Jew his own worst enemy, refuses to endorse him. It's Jeremiah 49 and verse 20. You devils are in the trick bag. Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi is the ultimate chess player. Therefore, hear the counsel of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Matter of fact, let's get that in the NLT, then we'll go back to the KJV. Listen to the Lord's plans against Edom. You see, Esau, Edom is a so-called white man, and Edom is symbolic for America. And the people of Teman, even the little children will be dragged off like sheep, and their homes will be destroyed. See, but this is the Lord's plans against Edom. So therefore, hear the counsel of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, that he hath taken against Edom, and his purpose is that he hath purpose against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. The least of the flock is that tiny state of Israel. They're going to keep dragging Babylon the Great, America, out to this third woe until both their habitations are desolate. The earth is moved at the noise of their fall. At the cry, the noise thereof was heard in the Red Sea. You see, Jeremiah 50 and verse 45. Therefore, hear ye the counsel of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, that he hath taken against Babylon, America, and his purpose is that he hath purpose against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. At the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved and the cry is heard among the nations. You see, both your habitations will be desolate. You see? Earthquake rocks Spain. Powerful earthquake rocks Spain as terrified tourists flee hotels and roads rip apart. The Lord ain't playing, man. He's not playing. Let's get that. 2nd Ezra 9. 2nd Ezra 9 and 1. He answered me and then said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past which I have told thee before, then shalt thou well understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there should be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, in the end is manifest. So Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi is getting ready to destroy, man. You see, y'all have made void the Lord's laws. Let's get that. Psalms 119 and 126. Is it time for thee, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, to work? For they have made void thy law. You see, Lord Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, is it time for you to act? For these evil people have violated your instructions. You see? And it's going to be horrible, man. It's going to be horrible. Psalms 119 and 120. My flesh trembleth for fear of thee, and I am afraid of thy judgments. Everybody is getting ready to be afraid of the judgments of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. You see? The famine, the pestilence, the earthquakes, teeth of wild beasts is coming. Jeremiah 28 and verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. And that's what's coming. Shalom. Repent, you Israelites.